just making a video because it's a beautiful country. Muscat, Oman. This is Al Sib. Close to where I lived. And we're taking the highway on the way to the National Museum of Muscat, Oman. Subscribe to my channel at John Mary Muscat 5964. That is John Mary Muscat 5964, where you can find my vlogs, my travel logs. That's my channel, John Mary Muscat 5964. Star Care Hospital. This is where I did a lot of my treatments and scans. Then we have City Center, the second shopping mall nearest to my house. So as you can see, Oman is a very green country. Lots of trees and grass. Think you're in the desert. They have a very good system of tree planting and facilitating this. You may wonder, how do they do this? Well, they have a network of pipes throughout the whole city, and these pipes constantly supply water underground, and so they can water the trees 3/4/7, and that's why you see such greenery. You can see over on this side lots and lots and lots of trees and grass and pasture. By the way, Oman is officially the cleanest city in the Middle East and in the Gulf. It's the cleanest city. What I like about it is it doesn't have concrete jungles. As you can see, there are no skyscrapers like you find in Dubai or Qatar, because the limit height for most buildings in Oman is 8 floors only. So you won't find anything higher than 8 floors, and even then those kind of buildings are not really in the city center. You find them in particular business suburbs or areas, not really in residential areas, just in business districts. This is the Muscat Expressway on the way to Gala. also on the way to the Muscat airport. And Gala is also the area where you find land allocated for most churches of all denominations of churches are found in Gala. If you want more, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Jean-Marie Musiai 5964. There is a hyphen between the John and the Mary, so that makes Jean-Marie Musiai 5964. No space, no special characters between the letters, just a hyphen between the John and the Mary. Jean-Marie Musiai 5964. That's my YouTube channel. As you can see, there are 3 lanes on the track. And by the way, in Oman, the drivers ride on the right side of the road, and so the steering wheel is on the left side of the road. It takes getting used to for those of you who are from previous British colonies which drive on the left side. So that's one thing you have to get used to. Another is to be careful as you're crossing the roads, because normally we say when crossing the roads you look left, right, and then left again. Well, in Oman you better look right, left, and then right again, because everything is reversed and you could easily get knocked, because your muscle memory, your body system, if you're from a previous British colony, is used to looking left, right, and then left again. Well, you need to reset that in your system and be looking right, left, and then right again. And beware, the cars here move very fast, especially on the highways. You better be on the proper lane, because if you're not moving fast enough and you're on a fast lane, you're going to cause multiple accidents. So make sure you choose the appropriate lane for your kind of speed. People in Oman are very respectful, very polite. There is absolutely no hooting, because hooting is considered very rude. You won't hear any kind of hooting unless it's an emergency. For example, you're on a fast lane and you're not moving fast enough. Then they will hoot at you to make you aware of the danger you're posing. Otherwise, the Omanis only hoot under extreme emergency circumstances. Now you'll notice they have a monochrome culture. So only certain colors are allowed for the buildings, and you won't find anything beyond these colors. And it's a kind of theme that runs throughout the Gulf countries, and it's a kind of brotherhood that joins them together, this monochrome culture. But I think it's best seen in Oman, and I can tell you it makes it very relaxing to the senses and the eyes, because there isn't multiple stimulation of the senses. If you are coming back from work, you'd especially feel relaxed as you drive home, because there is not a bombardment of colors and multiple stimulation of the senses. That isn't there because they have a monochrome culture for the buildings. These are some of the taller buildings, and they pretty much won't get taller than this. As you can see, nothing more than 8 floors. We're right now in the area of Al-Kuwait. Al-Kuwait. Most of the areas here start with an Al, and a lot of their heritage names also start with an Al. So right now I think this is the area of Al-Kuwait. I've bought a lot of my musical equipment in this area. Some of the first musical equipment I bought for my professional practice was in the area of Al-Kuwait. The taxi services in Oman, in Muscat, are very cheap. So, compared to Uganda, for example, I can travel by special taxi. Well, for the same amount of money that it would take a person to hire a boda to get from Nalia to the city square, that would cost you about 10,000 Uganda shillings. Well, for that amount, I could travel in a very neat and clean special private hire taxi. They're called O-taxis. For 10 times the distance. I wouldn't even say it's 10 times, maybe 25 times the distance that you paid the same amount to travel from, for example, Nalia to the city square in Kampala on a boda. I could travel 25 times that distance in a very neat, private, special hire, all by myself, with all the luxury. So I guess those are the benefits of having oil as a main product. Travel is cheap. You can also opt not to buy a car. You could opt to hire a car on a monthly basis and just pay monthly rental for a car. And because the roads are so good, the cars are not going to have any mechanical problems at all. In fact, I have never seen a garage in Muscat or Oman, never. And the cars are kept under pretty good condition because the owners can easily resell them. As you can see, the cars are spick and span and absolutely neat, because every car owner is conscious of the fact that they may want to resell their car They can do this very quickly if the car is in a spick and span condition.
Exit to the right onto Dulcet, Muscat.
Look at the beautiful crawling, creeping grass on the walls.
6.4 kilometers. Keep left onto the direction of Alpina Street.
I don't think I've seen a country cleaner than this. Nothing compares to this, really. This makes this this was the 7th country I've lived and worked in. I've worked in Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. I've worked in Mombasa, Kenya. I've worked in Lesotho, the Kingdom of Lesotho, which is a landlocked country within South Africa. I have lived and studied in South Africa, Pretoria. Then I have worked in India, both South India and North India. I've worked in the number one tourist destination of South India, which is a hill station called Kodaikanal. I've also worked in the capital of the Bollywood industries, which is the capital of Mumbai in the state of Maharashtra. I have worked there. I've also provided services in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and particularly in the area of Vizag, which is another clean town. I've visited several places in India, including the previous state of Goa and Chennai and other places, several. Then I moved on to Bahrain, the Kingdom of Bahrain. So that was the second kingdom I worked under. And I came back and I worked in India again. I've worked in India. Then I have also worked in this sultanate or kingdom of Oman. So basically I've worked in 3 kingdoms. The kingdom of Lesotho, the kingdom of Bahrain, and the kingdom of Oman, or the Sultanate of Oman. Now, for those of you who don't know, Oman has very strong relations with East Africa. If you remember your primary history where we learned about the sultans, well, these are the Omani people. They were the sultans who came and owned land in, actually Zanzibar was one of their holdings, one of their properties. And so they have a close connection with Africa. Some of them speak extremely fluent Swahili. The first time I arrived in Oman, I was shocked when I went to the duty free, and the first language I heard being spoken there by the neatly dressed guards was Swahili, and very fluent Swahili. So kind of makes you feel very at home here if you're the kind of person who knows the language of Swahili. We're right now going above Rui, a suburb called Rui. We're heading to the National Museum of Oman. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you around the museum because it's not allowed to make videos inside there. But you may be lucky enough to see the palace of the Sultan. think I'll be able to show you a bit of the palace of the Sultan. For those of you who are Baganda, you'd call it the Holangi of the Sultan. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel Jean-Marie Mouziai 5964. You got a hyphen between the John and the Mary.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Then at the roundabout, take the first exit. At the roundabout, take the second exit. Then at the roundabout, take the first exit onto Al-Bari Street. At the roundabout, take the first exit onto Al-Bari Street.
There you go. There's a bay. You can see lots of ships. Can you see
At the
them?
roundabout, take the second exit
You see
onto
the
Al-Bari
ships?
Street.
You're going to find lots and lots of tourists in this area. It happens to be a public holiday today, so I don't know whether that's a good or bad thing. We have the market, the main market around this area. We have products from Kashmir, that's in India. Very calming and relaxing. I've taken long walks along this street. Even with my visiting family, we've been able to travel this street and enjoy the scenery and take long walks, which is good for your health. So my family and I have been to many countries. They've been to all the countries I've been to, except England. Though my daughter has been to France, where she lived for a couple of months. She traveled there on her own, having been selected by her school in India on a school exchange program. And so she lived for several months and studied for several months in France during her O-level year. And that helped her grow up and mature, because she had to do all the travel by herself and survive by herself in France. My son has also traveled to the Maldives on his own, at the invitation of some close friends of his, on a fully sponsored travel trip to the beautiful country of the Maldives.
In 1 kilometer, keep right.
The Omani people are very, absolutely polite and kind. They have the same kindness, exactly the same kindness as the Ugandan people, the same culture as the Baganda people. wearing their
In
long
300 meters,
kanzu-like
keep right
things.
onto Al Sadia Street.
Very, very polite people. And I think it's because of their African connection. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Jean-Marie Mouziai 5964. We've got a hyphen between the John and the Mary.
Keep right onto Al Sadia
No
Street.
spaces between the letters apart from a hyphen between the John and the Mary.
In 300 meters, at the roundabout, take the first exit onto Al Sadia Street.
So we now arrive at the National Museum, which is right here. National Museum of
Here, yeah?
Muscat. Yes, here. Thank you. Alright, I'll stop the video now. Thank you.